Hello learners, welcome back to Constant Learners. We're discussing the most frequently asked interview questions in SQL. In SQL interviews, one of the most common questions is finding the second highest salary. To solve that, let's first create a company database and an employee table. Then we will discuss the logic to solve our problem, and finally we will write the query. Okay, I've added the timestamps. You can switch to the main query instead if you like, but we are starting from the basics for those who don't even know how to create a database and create a table. All right. Also, I'd request you to pause the video for a second, think of the logic and try writing the query yourself before checking the answer straight away. Let's begin. The first step here is to create a database. Now see, to create the tables, we first need a database. We cannot just buy a cupboard and put it on the road, right? We need a room to put it in. So our database is the room and the tables inside this database are the cupboards. If you don't understand this, please check out my basics video. Don't skip to the challenging parts directly. Please, I'll link everything here. Basics are very important. I'm going to write my queries in the command prompt. Alright, let's begin. To enter into MySQL, we start with writing MySQL -u. We are getting into the root folder, so root -p. Enter. Now we enter the password that we set while installing the Workbench. If you don't know how to install the Workbench, there are ample amount of videos online. You can check that, or you can let me know. I'll create a video for that. So now we have entered into the MySQL monitor. All right. Now, first thing that we have to do here is create the database. All right. For that, we use the keyword create database. And I'm going to name my database Constant Learners. Every query ends in semicolon, enter. Alright, so our database has been created. Now the next step here is to select this database. We'll have to first inform the DBMS that whatever tables we are creating will go inside this Constant Learners database. Alright, so we have to select the database here. For that, we use the keyword use, U-S-E, and then we write the name of our database, which is Constant Learners. Now this name you can give anything, whatever you like, whatever is the name of your company, you can give that as the name of your database. Again, we end the query with a semicolon and enter. Now we have entered into the database Constant Learners. Now the step here is to create the employee table. See, to find the second highest salary, we need an employee table, right? Creating a table doesn't mean just reserving a space for the table. It also means defining the columns in the table, right? So before starting to define your column, it is important that we ask a few questions here. First, how many columns do we need, right? How many columns does our table need? That depends upon what table are we creating. Next, what would be the names of those columns? Third question would be, what will be the data types of each column? This is important. You cannot store any data in any column. You cannot store integers in date and time column, right? Or you cannot use date and time for an employee ID, right? So we have to define the data types. Next is, what other constraints will we use? Like which column will act as a primary key, which one will be a foreign key, whether a column cannot be null. We declare that this column cannot be null, right? So these are the different constraints that we have to define. If all of this sounds alien to you, please watch my DBMS course, or at least watch the constraints video. I'll link everything in the description as well as above. Alright. Now, we start with the keyword create table. So to create the table, we use create table, and the name of our table will be employee. We can take any name for our table. I'm using the name employee. Alright. Now, our job isn't done here. This is just the beginning. So we start with a round bracket and enter. Now we have to define each column inside our table. Alright. So the steps here is, first we give the column name. Again, the column name could be anything that I like. So first column, I would like the employee ID. So I'm saving it as emp caps lock ID. Alright. I am giving this. Alright. You can give whatever you like. Now, after the name of the column, we have to define the data type. So this column will have integers as the data type. So I'm writing int. Also, employee ID in my table will act as the primary key. So I'm going to declare that also, that this is my primary key. Alright. So this is just the first column. We still have to create more columns. So we are going to give a comma and enter. Next column is name column. Name, again, you can write all caps, you can write all small, like uppercase, all lowercase. I'm giving it like this. And SQL is a case sensitive language, so you have to make sure that you use the correct names for your tables, databases and columns. Now, the name column will have varchar, okay? So we can use characters also, but varchar is a mostly used database, alright? It is far more convenient, okay? So we are using varchar here, and I'm defining 50 character spaces for the name column. So every cell in every row, every cell in the name column, for every row will have a space of 50 characters, right? And I've already explained that in char what happens, if you're defining 50 character spaces, all the 50 will be reserved, right? So even if you're using only 2 character spaces, the rest 48 will go to waste. But that does not happen in varchar. That is why we use varchar instead of characters. Alright. Watch that video if you don't understand what I'm saying. Comma. The next column will be the department column. No, we'll just keep it DEPT. Alright. Again, the department column will have data type varchar. Again, I'm defining 50 character spaces for that. I want one more column, so comma and enter, and the fourth column will be salary. Alright, and salary will definitely be integers. Now this is my last column, so I don't need to put a comma here. We'll just enter, close the round bracket, and every query ends in a semicolon. So we put a semicolon and enter. Alright, so we've created the skeleton, the structure of our table. Now we need to fill the data inside this table. Alright. Again, to insert the data, we use the keyword insert into. Alright. To insert data inside the table, we use insert into. Then we put the name of our column, which is employee. Again, whatever name you have given, you can use that name. And one more keyword that we need to use here is value, because we are inserting the values in each row. Alright. We push enter. Now for the first row, we are going to start with the round bracket. Now when we insert the values in each row, we have to go in sequence of our columns. Alright. So the first column we have is employee ID. Let's say the employee IDs are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it is 101, 102, 103, then we have to go like this. For me, I'm just taking simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for the first row, we'll have 1 as the employee ID, comma. Then we enter the value of the second column, which is name. Now name, whenever we have the varchar or char data type in use, we enter the data in single inverted commas. So for name, we have varchar. We are going to use single inverted comma. Let's say the name is Alice. Alice, single inverted comma, close. Again, comma. Because this is just the second column, we need all 4 values for all 4 columns. Third column is department. Again, it is varchar, single inverted commas. It is HR. Again, inverted commas, close and comma. Space. And the fourth column is salary. Let's say her salary is 50,000. Now, we don't need any more commas. We'll just close the round bracket. But now we'll have a comma because this is just the first row. We are going to insert data into 5 rows. Alright. So for the second row, again, we start with employee ID. Name is, let's say, Baman, comma. Department is IT, comma, space. Salary is 70,000. Okay. Bracket close, comma, enter. For the third row, employee ID is 3, comma. Name is, let's say, Colin. He's in the finance, comma, and salary is 90,000. Bracket close, again, comma. For the fourth row, employee ID is 4, comma. Let's say name is Doug, comma. Department is IT, comma. Salary is 80,000. Bracket close, again, comma. Now the fifth row, employee ID 5, comma. Name is Ellis, comma. Department is HR, single inverted commas. And the salary is 90,000. Now here our query is completed. We've inserted all the values that we needed. So we end the query with a semicolon and enter. Right? Next step is to check the table. Let's check whether a proper table has been created in our database or not. This is the easiest query in the entire history geography of SQL, which is select star. Star means all from which table? Employee, and semicolon and enter. And this is our table. Alright, here our basic job is done. Now we head to our main query. Now you might not need to create the database or the tables during the interview. Just write the query asked directly. Okay. Now let's understand the logic behind writing this query. Looking at this table, which is the highest salary here, it is 90,000, right? But we don't want the highest salary. We want the second highest salary, right? Which is 80,000. So what would be the logic here? See, to find the second highest salary, we follow 3 simple steps. First step is to find the highest salary in this column, which is 90,000, right? Second, we ignore that value. How do we ignore that value? We list out all the salaries that are less than 90,000. Alright. So we are going to list out the salaries excluding 90,000. So in that list, 90,000 will not be present. And from that list, we are going to find the highest salary. So that will give us the second highest salary in this column. Alright. Now, we start with select max because we need the maximum salary. Max what? Salary. From where? From the employee table. What is the condition? Where salary is less than. Salary is less than what? The highest salary. So we are selecting maximum salary from the employee table where the salary is less than the maximum salary in the salary column. Alright. So we start a sub query here. Enter. Again we write the same query. Select max salary from employee. Alright. This is it. Enter. Close the bracket. This is our query. Semicolon and enter. And this gives us the second highest salary. Alright. So this query here, it first finds the maximum salary. Alright. Where? See this one. Select max salary from employee. This gives us the 90,000 that we are looking for. Alright, which is the maximum salary in this column. And then we are selecting the maximum salary from the list where the salary is less than the maximum salary. Alright, where the salary is less than 90,000. So the maximum salary in a list where 90,000 is not present, will obviously be the second highest salary. Alright. In interviews, this problem is often extended to finding the nth highest salary, which we will cover in the next video. Please like, share the video and subscribe to the channel, and please share your views if any. Thank you so much for watching.